welcome or welcome back. My name is Joanne, and ignore my brushes that are sitting right there. I need to use, but that's just where they're gonna be. Today, as I'm putting my hair up, is going to be a get ready with me using my summer makeup rotation. Yeah, initially I wanted to use my Dior blush, but I want to do something that's not just brown on my eyes, but I'm going on a second date today, so I can't do anything too out there. And the palette that I'm going to be using, if you've been following me the past year, I did declutter this palette last year in like a panning. I can't help it, okay? I love the color story so much. So pretty. I literally swatched the shimmer that I want to use, and it's just so pretty. I couldn't help it. I guess I have some newish products to use. Oh, speaking of newish products, I do want to talk about 3 lipsticks that I got yesterday because I went to Ulta to use my 20% off, and I was gonna pick up an eye cream and I forgot. It's fine. But so I did get 3 lipsticks. Okay, don't yell at me. I love lipsticks, especially when it comes to like the MAC nudes. Gorgeous. 2 of them are MAC lipsticks. One of them is a L'Oreal lipstick actually. So look at me actually going drugstore for once. But these are the 3 that I got. So the L'Oreal lipstick that I got is in the shade Organza, which I might use today just because it's so pretty. I've seen Alexa at Alexa Chan Blake use this, and I'm like, that is such a pretty frosty lipstick. Like, look how gorgeous that shade is. And this would go with the look I have in mind today. And the 2 MAC lipsticks I got Flesh Pot. Look, I just love these lighter nudes to mix with things. So that one's Flesh Pot. It's a little bit of like a pinky peach. And then this is in the shade Peach Stock, which I absolutely love. That one's that one right there. Like, you can see how much more pink Flesh Pot is, and it's lighter than Peach Stock. Let me start with some lip prep. Which one do I want to use? I think I want to use my mango one. So, like I said, I have my mango and my taro bubble tea. Literally my newest obsession. It smells like taro boba. I'm not even kidding. But today's vibe, I'm feeling mango. And this is just a little mini. I do have a full size of this one because I just love this one so much. Nice and hydrated lips. I do plan on filming an update on my project pan. Oh my god, on my year-long project pan. It's been months. Okay, there are some things that I'm no longer using because they're too light for me, but I will show you progress on whatever has progress. And then some things I've decluttered. There's one thing that I've actually completely used up, and I kind of miss it, which is crazy because I've always said how I wasn't a huge fan of it. And now I kind of want it back, but I'm gonna use up my setting sprays before buying it. Does that give you a hint of what it is? So for my primers, this might be a little extra, okay, but I'm gonna go in with my One Size Oil Sucker Extreme Mattifying Alkaline Primer. I don't like this because like it just gets all gunky, but it does really mattify my skin, which I do need as a very oily girl. I should probably get my mirror, but it's fine. I can use my phone as my mirror right now. I probably put on way too much. That's gonna cover like my whole face. And another thing about the powdery bit, it's like if it gets into the primer, it like goes onto your face and it's so annoying. Look at that. Immediate mattification. Lurf. Actually, getting out my mirror. Now I'm gonna go in with my Auric Glow Lust in the shade Selenite. I do really like this. Do I think it's super necessary? No. But I do like it. All I do is I put it on my cheeks. So, just a little bit there. Like, just look at the glow that it gives. Like, even if you don't wear makeup, This kind of product is so pretty. That is way too much. Like, I just love the glow it gives. It's so pretty. And I am going to go in with a third primer because this is in my project pan and I haven't really been using it. But this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. It's just not a favorite. I don't know. I don't see a use for it for me. I tend to not have issues with makeup lasting on me except for my nose. So maybe this will help makeup stay on my nose. But other than that, I don't really see a purpose to having this primer. I know everyone loves the Jelly Pop one. I do not have that. And it adds a little bit of a luminosity over where I put my mattifying primer. But it's fine. I mean, my foundation and concealer haven't changed at all. Let me first see if I want to spot conceal anything. Well, actually, I think I'm gonna put some of my MAC Studio Fix in the shade NC44 on like my cheeks where I tend to need more coverage. And to blend that out, I'm gonna use this BK Beauty Angie Hun Flashy A506. It's just like a kitten. It's just a kitten paw brush that everyone loves. I do have a new shade of this coming in and I'm so excited because I love this concealer under the eyes. I did use this once under my eyes and the shade is just too dark. But let me do a little bit of this and then actually put some on the side of my nose now because I tend to always need to put some on the side of my nose after my foundation, and I can always add more later if needed. Let me just blend this in. NC44, it might be like a tad dark. I mean, I could probably go with like NC43 for my face. I got NC42 for my under eyes. Like, it looks, I think it looks fine. It's just a tad off. Just to put down some coverage before going into foundation. And for foundation, of course, I'm using my Ilia stick in the shade 260. And there is like this hard little piece in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it's like right here. And I can't really take it out. I guess I could by just scraping it out. But now there's just a little hole. So I'm just gonna apply this all over my face. I'm gonna take it underneath onto my chin as well. To blend that out, I'm gonna use my Sephora Pro Foundation 64 brush. I feel like the shade actually matches me perfectly. I'm just gonna take whatever's left on this brush from my concealer, just pat it right here. And then I do have another shade of the MAC Studio Fix powder foundation coming in as well, because that was also 40% off on their website. I just think that would be such a nice like touch-up powder, like anywhere that I need to fix some imperfections. And before I go into cream bronzer, I've been applying some concealer. So I'm going with my Hourglass concealer in the shade Suede. And because all my darkness is out here, I just apply a little out here and just let it sit. For my cream bronzer, of course, my Makeup by Mario in the shade Dark. Using my Makeup by Mario F4 brush, using the smaller side. And then I just tap it onto a mixing palette to blend it into the bristles before applying it onto my face. Look at that. It's just so seamless. I am going to use a bronzer I haven't used in a while, and I hope it actually does match me. If not, I'll just have to go into my other bronzer. Well, I'll just have to go into another bronzer. I should say I have 2 other bronzers currently out that I can use during the summer. And this makeup basket, this makeup rotation, I don't plan on changing any of it during the summer, just because these are all shades that I like to use during this time. But if I do change anything, I will of course let you guys know. Now that that's blended out, I'm going to blend out my concealer. And I did mention this in that summer makeup rotation video, but the Hourglass might just be too creamy for my liking, because I just prefer the Studio Fix. Like, it looks so nice on camera. It does look really nice. I'm still trying to accept the fact that I do have lines under my eyes. Using my Makeup by Mario in the shade Neutral Peach. So much comes out at once. Like, it's insane. And I've learned the more the merrier with powder. Like, I feel like sometimes I don't use enough powder under my eyes. Sometimes I feel like I use too much. Like, I feel like that almost, like, on camera, that looks absolutely stunning. Like, wow, everything's just like blurred and mattified. I will say yesterday I did use a puff for my under eyes. And like, I didn't hate it, but I think I just prefer using a brush. But I do use a puff for the rest of my face. This is probably just one from an Amazon pack. And I like to bake my forehead and my nose, so I'm just gonna do that really quick. I'm gonna look crazy for a second. The nice thing about this powder is, yes, it mattifies, but it doesn't look like a flat matte. Like, it looks like there's still some life to the skin. And now I'm just gonna set the rest of my face. Like, I use so much powder. Granted, that's what happens when you have oily skin. You use all the powder. And this is when I wipe off my bake. I don't bake for that long. Like, this powder just looks so nice. Like, it's, yes, it's mattifying, like it's a setting powder, but like, it still looks like there's life to my skin, if that makes sense. It kind of reminds me of the Huda Beauty powder. It's just a little less heavy. Now for powder bronzer, my little baby, my Gucci bronzer in the shade number 2. Like, look how dark this is. Normally I have to go super light-handed with this, so I hope it works. I really need to wash my Sigma switch. It is absolutely disgusting. We're gonna see how this Gucci bronzer looks. Did I mention that this is a shade number 2? Like, look how powdery this bronzer is. It's so like loosely pressed. Oh yeah, that is perfectly fine for summer. I mean, it's a little more neutrally, but it still works. I mean, I still think I prefer my YSL one. But like, this one's also pretty nice. I just love like a reddish toned bronzer. Like, a lot of people love a yellow bronzer. I'm like, no, not on my skin tone. This definitely works. in the summer. It's almost like a bronzer type shade. Like it's not super warm. Now for blushy blush. So because the eye look I want to go for today is a little more pinky, I'm gonna go for a little bit more of a pinky neutral blush. I did do this blush combo yesterday. Oops. But this is MAC Glow Play Blush in the shade Blush Please. I do still want Pinch of Marrakesh, but I have my Danessa Myricks blush that I love. That's kind of a similar shade. So I've not picked up Pinch of Marrakesh. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. But then I just take my brush onto this mixing palette as well. I don't know why I closed this because I'm going to need more of it. But like this is just such a pretty everyday pink shade. Remember when I was like, I don't like cream products. I don't understand the point of them. I cannot do my makeup without cream products now, which is just wild to me. Like I just love using these as like a base, or even if I want like something that's super light, I could 100% just wear this and call it a day. Cause look how pretty that is. This is a MAC Mineralized Blush in the shade Lovejoy. I do love this blush. It's very pretty. It doesn't add much color, to be honest, but it's just very pretty. It's very much a brownie, shimmery blush. I do love a glowy cheek. For my highlighter, I decided to take Global Glow. Sometimes I use this as a finishing powder. Other times I use it as a highlighter. Especially now that I'm more tan, it looks so pretty as a highlight. Like, look at that. And this is one of their mineralized skin finishes. The more popular one is Soft and Gentle, which I do want for when I'm paler. Like, look how pretty that is. It just blends in so nicely to everything. And I like to take my blush brush and just tap over it with no additional product, just whatever's left, just to blend it in a little more. Look at, stunning, like actually stunning. My setting spray, first I'm going to go in with this One Size Until Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray. This is the other setting spray I'm trying to use up this year. Hold please. I hold my breath as long as I can because I don't want the burning sensation in my nose, but it literally mattifies everything but keeps the glow of the highlighter. Actually, I think that looks fine for now. If I feel like it, I will go in with MAC Fix Plus over it, but that's good for now. I think that's it for that. I'm gonna go do my brows off camera, put my eye primer on. Brows, I think I mentioned in that video, I use my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes the Neutrals, which is disgusting, but I use this dark brown and the black mixed together. Yesterday I used these two shades. I used this shade and this shade kind of mixed together. These two are what I use in my brows, and then I use my ABH Brow Freeze gel. I don't know how much I have left of this. Let me try to see. I mean, it should be pretty low. I don't know. This will be gone whenever it's gone. And then my eye primer is, of course, my MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extend Eye Base. So let me go do that off camera and I will come back for my eyeshadow, which I'm actually really excited for. I have brought you closer, and like I mentioned before, I did declutter this palette last year, but I just, every time I see someone use it, I'm like, it's so pretty. You just saw it. But I'm like, it's just so pretty, and I still love this color story. It's the Cosmic Beauty Muse palette. This is what the inside looks like. And the shade that I want to use is the shade Antique. That's probably my favorite shade in this palette. And my plan for today is to use Haze and Rosewood and then Antique. So hopefully it's not too intense of a look, because again, I'm going on a second date. But so I'm taking this Bling brush into the shade Haze, which is that lighter brown. I'm just gonna put that in my crease. These browns do pull a little pink, but I feel like that's just the nature of this palette. And these mattes apply so easily. I think I mentioned earlier in the video, I have the worst memory, I'm sorry. But I'm going to be updating my project pan, my year-long project pan, because it's been a while. Yes, I did mention that. And I am going to be bringing in a new product that I want to use up. Hopefully I can get myself to use makeup more often than before. So now that that's in my crease, I don't know why I put my brushes in my lap. And I'm going to take this little smaller blending brush in the shade of Rosewood, which is that deeper, almost like plummy brown, and just apply that on the outer corner into the crease. But I do want to do an eyeshadow project pan. It's gonna be a combination of things, like kind of pan those eyeshadows, maybe. I kind of have an idea for it. It's not gonna be a lot of eyeshadows. It's probably gonna be like 3 or 4. There's some palettes where I just want to try to hit pan on. They're palettes that I organically use all the time, so it wouldn't be a chore for me to reach for those. And I just want to get to know my palette collection more. I have decided, so for this year, I've decided that by the end of the year, if there's a palette that I haven't reached for, because I have started tracking my makeup usage this year, if there's a palette that I haven't reached for, it's getting decluttered. So whether it's like a conscious, okay, I need to use this so it doesn't get decluttered, or if even with that, I'm like, I don't want to use it, then that's a sign that it needs to get decluttered. Because I don't want to have so many eyeshadow palettes to the point where it's like too much. And there are just things that I'm not reaching for. I'm just gonna go in with Rosewood and then a little bit of Haze on my lower lash line as well. You know, like I feel like a lot of people are feeling like this. Like, I kind of want to just like minimize my makeup. And last night I went through my lip products and decluttered actually so much. Some things that I claimed were favorites I have decluttered, which is crazy. But I would want to reach for other things over that, so that had to go. Honestly, this is like perfect for if I want to do like a little bit of color, but I don't want to go super intense. Okay, and now I'm going to take the shade Antique. I always use my finger with my shimmers. Look how pretty. Oh my god. I can definitely see the blue, but I think it looks more gold on camera. It's so pretty. Yeah. I might go into another palette for brown. Actually, I don't think I need the brown. Yeah, that is so pretty. I feel like it looks gold on my phone, but then looking down, it looks blue. And then I like to just take my brushes and blend this in. And I know I do like the same steps over and over again. That's just how I do my makeup. And there isn't an inner corner I want to use in here. I'm going to go into a palette that I used yesterday for my inner corner. And it is a cool tone neutral palette. My Urban Decay Naked palette. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Sin right here, which is just this really light pinky shade. Look how pretty. Like, for example, I love this palette. It's one of my favorite palettes. This is the relaunched from last year. Like, I would have to use this in order for it to not be decluttered this year. Which honestly, I probably have already used this year. I mean, obviously for this inner corner, but just in general. Like, I've used all of my Makeup by Mario palettes because they're favorites. I'm pretty sure I've used this palette because it's a favorite. I've used my Too Faced palette because it's a favorite. Have I used my Pat? I don't know. I'm gonna have to use that one so it doesn't get decluttered. And then there's some palettes where I just want to use up a shade in the palette because it's like one of my favorite shadows in my collection. It does look a little bruisey with the shade Rosewood, but I still think it's so cute. Okay, let me go do eyeliner, mascara, and I will come back for my lips. I have my eye makeup on. I did use my Victoria Beckham eyeliner in the shade Cocoa, and then MAC Stack lash primer, and then MAC Stack Elevated for my mascara combo. And then in my waterline, I don't know if you can tell, but I used this ColourPop Creme Gel liner in the shade Crybaby, which is just a pastel purple shade. Now for the lippies, let me take off my excess lip balm. I decided I'm gonna use my Makeup Forever liner in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. This is one of my favorite lip liners, and I would 100% buy a full size. This is a mini that came in that holiday set. And I know the trend nowadays is to go straight across your Cupid's bow. I don't like that. That looks so weird on me. But that's how I line my lips. I do fill in a little bit. That's probably why I go through lip liner so quickly. But then I'm going to go in with my L'Oreal lipstick in the shade Organza. I was afraid that would be too much, but I don't think so. It looks like a lot more on camera, and I hate the scent of these lipsticks. Ugh. It's very perfumey. I don't like it, but I love the shade. It's very pretty and very fitting for this look. This is what the look is looking like. I can't help it, okay? I need some MAC Fix Plus in my life. How cute. Okay, now I'm done with my get ready with me. So that, I just inhaled it. But that is my get ready with me using my summer makeup rotation and using a new lipstick, which is actually really pretty. I love it. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed, if you've tried any of these products, if you're interested in trying any of these products. I would love to know. I hope you're having a great day, a great night, whatever time it is for you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.